Hello everyone and welcome to my channel JD Tech Academy. So this is my first video and in my channel I'll be helping you with the IT concepts that you need to excel in your IT career, or maybe if you are looking to start a career in IT. So let's begin with our first video. As you can see in the screen, I have mentioned the career path ranging from systems administrator to cloud administrator. So this is the roadmap that you need to follow in order to upgrade in your career. So first we begin with systems administrator, then we go to infrastructure engineer, and then you become a cloud administrator. So here I have mentioned some of the technologies that you need in order to excel in that particular career role. As you can see in the first one, I have mentioned systems administrator. In order to become a systems administrator, you need to know about hardware, you need to know about software, you need to know about applications and networking and storage. Similarly, to become an infrastructure engineer, you need to have knowledge about virtualization. You need to have a knowledge about tools like VMware, vSphere, Hyper-V. Then you need to have knowledge about the storage servers, or then you need to have knowledge about backup and recovery using tools like Commvault. Then you need to know about the monitoring the health of the servers. Then in the third part is the cloud administrator, where you have to gain knowledge about cloud providers like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Then you need to know about the identity and access management, which is a crucial part in any IT infrastructure uh, team in an organization. Then you need to know about virtual private cloud or maybe networking, that is in the cloud. Then you need to know about the cloud storage, how the cloud storage works, how the compute services work. Okay, so in this video, I will help you to gain knowledge beginning from the hardware itself. Okay, so it is not like you don't need to worry about directly this technologies, VMware, Hyper-V. If you don't know, that's okay. I'll start from the beginning and yeah, so let's start from the hardware itself, the infrastructure. What do you understand by IT infrastructure? So that is basically nothing but the combination of hardware, software, networking, switches, all these things, you know. And these are the crucial things that is required to run an organization, you know. So let's move on to the next slide. You can see I have mentioned the hardware. As in this slide, you can see I have mentioned a few examples of hardware. Hardwares are those devices that you can touch physically. So as in the example, you can see there are servers. Servers look like this. Yeah, they are. These devices are not sitting in between the users. They are particularly mounted in somewhere in the data center or maybe the server rooms. Laptop, this is an endpoint device which is being used by your users. Okay, and the desktops are the same. While desktops, we can always modify the configuration. That is an advantage that desktops give apart from laptops. Laptops are mostly unconfigurable for higher storage or higher memory. In the fourth one, you can see the routers. So these are network devices which help you to connect to the internet. Okay, and then there is a switch device called switch, which helps to connect the devices in a private network. Okay, and the last one is the firewall. So firewall, this is a hardware firewall. The firewalls are of two types, so which is of software and the hardware. And this is the hardware firewall, which looks like this. Its primary purpose is to secure your network from outside attacks and threats. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. Here I have mentioned some of the things which are known as the software. Okay, software powers the hardware and makes everything work. Yes, that is correct. So these are a few of the examples of the software you can see on your screen. Windows Server, that is basically an operating system for servers that manage the resources, users, and applications. As I told, these are for the server systems. This will be installed in the server systems which are there in your data center or maybe in your server room. Then the next is Linux. Linux is also an operating system, but it is open source. It is known for stability, security, and flexibility. Then the third one is Active Directory. This is a directory service that manages the users, computers, groups, and security policies in your network. So if you can see your email ID that is being typed into your login page, and you're entering your password, and then you're logging in, it is going to this particular technology, particular service, and then it is authenticating from there to let you log in to a particular resource. Then the fourth one is the cloud service. So you can see Microsoft 365. Earlier, we used to install a different package for Microsoft Office, but now it's a cloud package called Microsoft 365, where you get all the tools like Outlook, Word, Excel, and Teams, PowerPoint, everything in a single package. Then comes databases. This is just an example I'm giving. There might be different softwares that you can just check and Google around. Okay, so databases, these are particularly for storing and managing your data for the applications and business operations. So let's say you want to log into Facebook. I'm just giving an example. You want to log into your social media, and you type in your email ID and password, and it lets you log in. Yes, you might be thinking that is the work of Active Directory. That's a different thing. Okay, that's a different scenario when you're working in an office. And this kind of databases in the cloud, in somewhere in a different data center, it stores the user data, user login credentials, everything for this applications like the social media sites. Okay, so these are the kind of software. I mean, the examples of software that I have given to you. So you can Google around, you can search for other types of software. Obviously, as the first one I have given only about Windows Server, but I have not mentioned anything about Windows 11 here, right? That is the endpoint per device operating system. Okay, I mean the user device operating system where you'll be using that to operate your laptop, operate your desktop. Okay, so yeah, so these are some of the examples of software. You can always search about it. Then let's move on to the next slide. The third thing is the networking. Networking is a crucial part in IT infrastructure. Okay, so without networking, your devices won't be able to communicate with each other. So here are a few examples you can see. These are the basic things. Okay, no need to worry. I will upload the document for this one, but let me explain it to you as of now. So you can see the first one is local area network. As the name suggests, it is local. It is within your home or maybe within your office. Okay, so you use a single switch to connect all your laptops, desktops, your servers and printers. All these things are connected, but that is inside a single building. Okay, your home, office, or maybe in a single building. Okay, then we move on to the wide area network. Wide area network, it goes through internet. Okay, it connects the different parts. Just take for example, like if you have office in London, you have another office in Bangalore, and another office in the US. Okay, you want to connect to these three offices, so you would need wide area networking. Now the third one is internet. So internet, it is a global network. Okay, it is a global network that connects some millions of devices. around the world. My device is connected to the internet, your device is connected to the internet. It's just an open network. Okay, it is always very much unsafe. We always need to have uh, some security, some networking security, maybe the firewall which I told you about in the last slide, to defend our networks, so our private networks. Okay, internet is an open place. Then comes the fourth one, which is called virtual private network. Virtual private network gives you uh, the benefit to access your office resources from outside the office network. Okay, let's say you have an office in Bangalore and you are working from home today, but you need to access the files which is stored in the file server of your office. So simply from your home network, you cannot access that. You need a VPN client which will be connecting you to your office VPN server and then letting you into your office network to access that particular file in your file server. Okay, it creates a safe tunnel once you authenticate using your VPN client, which goes to the VPN server. Then yeah, it creates a safe tunnel where you can where because the internet, it is always unsafe, as I told you. So that's why the VPN connection is required. It creates a secure encrypted and connection over the internet, for your private access. Yeah, so this is the basic things in networking that you need to know, and I will be helping you with many other things in networking, like how to check the IP addresses, how to set the IP addresses. Okay, so this is the first video. Don't worry about that. In the next set of videos, I'll be helping you with each career role. Now let's move on to the fourth slide. This is about storage. Okay, so as the businesses, they generate enormous amounts of data. So here you can see the example of data. As I said earlier, employee data, information about the employees, like their personal details, job roles, salaries, their passwords, everything, it is stored in our servers, right? And then there are customer records. Suppose for example, you are having a company and you are selling something, right? So you need to acquire customers to sell uh, some of your products. Okay, so once you acquire some customer, you definitely will be having the records about that customer, right? Like what are their contact details, what did they order, what is the history, and what is the feedback they gave. So these are some examples of data. Maybe you can see the third option where it is mentioned as the financial information. Yeah, obviously. So our companies generate and they transact a lot in between businesses, right? So there the data is there for all of that invoices, or for payments or budgets, for the taxes they pay. Everything is stored somewhere in their file server in the organization, right? And there will be application data as well. Suppose your company creates a software, and that software is purchased by some customer, right? And you will be using it for generating some data. It can be uh, related to business, right? So maybe you are using that to generate invoices. So all of these are getting stored in your server, right? So below are some of the devices that you can see we use as storage devices. The first one being the hard disk drive, which you will be hearing from childhood, I guess, right? There's the traditional storage device, a mechanical disk will be inside the device, and it will be uh, storing all of the data. So it used to come for at low cost. It will provide you the large capacity, and there will be spinning disks. But this is not as secure as the SSD, the new generation SSD that is on the second uh, mentioned a second option. It is mentioned as a solid state drive. Okay, so the hard disk was slower than SSD, and SSD is much faster than compared to the hard disk drive. Okay, so the SSD is more reliable because the data corruption rates are very low in SSD as compared to HDDs, which can break easily as compared to the SSD. Then we go to the third technology, which is called as a storage area network. Okay, so this is not your everyday device like the hard disk or the solid state drive. It is, it is there in our data centers and server rooms where it is there will be many storage servers load, or maybe there will be one storage server with many hard disks mounted on that. So that makes a very huge data capacity which can be used by all of the employees in a single organization. Same like that, there is another technology which is known as a network attached storage. So as you can see, this is file level storage device and easy to set up and manage and ideal for file sharing and backup. So basically used for file sharing, right? So if your company generates a lot of data and you have your storage devices, you need to keep it secured. So you need to know about the basics of backup as well, which I will be telling you in the next videos. Let's move on to security. What is security? Security is protecting your business data from cyber threats, right? So in your company, the network which you are having, it will be easy to access from the internet if there is no firewalls, right? So if there is no firewall, no antivirus, no multi-factor authentication, no encryption, it will be very easy to access your company network and fetch the data and use it against the company, right? So you can see the below examples of security I have mentioned here. The first one being the firewalls. Yeah, firewalls, they monitor and control incoming and outgoing network traffic based on security rules, blocking unauthorized access and attacks. Now, firewalls can be of two types. So that is the software configured, and second is the hardware configuration. Hardware configured ones are basically used everywhere in each and every company, right? Because they provide you the a good level of security as compared to the software ones. Then second comes antivirus. This lives in your endpoint devices. Nowadays, it is being managed by the cloud as well. Okay, so it detects and removes the viruses that enter your device, maybe while browsing the internet, or maybe someone has plugged in a unknown pen drive. Yeah, so it provides a real-time protection against the viruses like that. Then there comes the multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication is, suppose you are logging into your social media account. I'm giving you the same example again. Suppose you're logging into your social media account. The first thing is your password. Once you enter your password, it sends the verification code. The second one, the if the multi-factor authentication is set up, it will send you a code in your phone, or else it will send a code to your authenticator application. Once you accept that, it will grant the access. Okay, now let me tell you the scenario without multi-factor authentication. Suppose you get a link to log into your social media account. That might be a phishing link, but unknowingly, because not every time every user knows that this is a phishing link. Okay, they might click on that link. Once they click on that link and they type in the password might get recorded in the hacker's page, right? In the person who is trying to do phishing, right? In their page, it will be recorded and sent to the database server. Okay. After which they will be easily able to access your social media account if the multi-factor authentication is not set up. Okay. In the scenario where the multi-factor authentication is in place, even if they come to know your password, they still cannot log in because the second factor authentication is going through your own phone, right? From the SMS code or the application authentication. So it is always better to set up multi-factor authentication even in your personal accounts as well, not only in your official accounts, but as personal accounts as well. Yeah. The fourth one is encryption. Encryption, this is something that converts your data into unreadable format. Okay. Just suppose, for example, you have this thing in front of your screen, right? What I'm showing you the slide. This all data are in a readable format, and you don't want anybody to uh, read that without a access key. You want someone who is having an access key to read that particular thing, right? So yeah, so for confidential things we are using this kind of techniques like the encryption techniques. Okay, so there is basically uh, you might have heard about a technology called BitLocker, which Microsoft is using in the Windows environments, right? So what happens is like that the device once encrypted, and you remove the SSD from that particular device from the laptop, suppose, and you want to access it in a separate laptop. And once you turn on the laptop, or the secondary laptop, you see it is asking for a BitLocker recovery. That is when you know that the particular SSD or HDD is encrypted. So you won't be able to access the data without the BitLocker recovery key. So I will tell you about all this in details and coming in the next slide. But for today, I have told you about the 5 things which are necessary for IT infrastructure. Let us revisit. Yeah, the first one being the hardware. Hardwares are necessary, obviously, and then software. Without software, hardware is uh, nothing. It is not. It will not be able to perform any task that you give it. Okay, the third being the networking. Without this, they cannot communicate to any other device on your network. Fourth is always the storage. Storage helps you to store the data that your company generates. Okay, and the fifth one being the security, securing your network, securing your devices, securing your accounts. All these are always a good habit, and it protects you from unauthorized access and attacks, right? So if you liked my content, please click on the like button, please subscribe, and you can always comment your doubts. I will try to answer them. Okay, so see you in the next video where I'll be telling you about the different technologies, beginning from the different technologies and different career roles. I'll create the playlist for all. But for today, thank you and bye.